Hey besties, it's Newt. Welcome back to me being indecisive in The Sims 4 for almost an hour. For those of you who are unaware, I am currently doing a legacy challenge in The Sims 4 based on my Animal Crossing town, Nautilus, where I populate Windenburg with Sims based on my Animal Crossing villagers. This house is for Marshall and Chatter, who is not a villager on my New Horizons town, but is from my New Leaf town, and he is my husband, both in New Leaf and in this game. Or he's my future husband. We haven't gotten... We're dating, okay? I live streamed the first two parts of the Let's Play already. I'll link those videos in the card, but I'm going to turn them into actual videos, like edited and stuff, so it's easier for you guys to watch. But yeah, in the last couple of episodes of this, Chatter and we really hit it off. Marshall as well. He was loitering on my property a lot, and that was really annoying. But yeah, this is the build of their house. They are roommates. They're not dating. Marshall is in his weird love triangle thing with Genji and Coco and whatever. It's dumb. They are my neighbors though, and I do have to put up with them. But yeah, as you can see, I guess barely. I wanted them to have sort of like a coastal, cottagey type of vibe. Very whimsical. I ended up using the windows from the cottage living pack for this house. Very cute with like the shutters and everything. And they're blue, of course, for Marshall. But as you can see by the length of this video and the length of this section, I struggled with this build so much. I don't remember how long the last build took. I imagine it took me a long time because I'm a very slow, indecisive builder. But according to the amount of screen recording that I have, this took me over 5 hours. And I believe it. It felt like it took 5 hours. The outside especially. I cut a lot of the outside because it was just me fumbling around. I feel like there was a time when building a little cottage like this would have been super easy for me. But for some reason with this build, it was just like a struggle and a half. Like I was just not comfortable building in this style like at all. And I think that's kind of funny because it's kind of like the theme of my Animal Crossing island. Obviously, I don't have to build the exteriors of my buildings in that game, so I don't have to worry about like making my house look cottagecore because I could just make the outside look a certain way, and Tom Nook does it. I'm not, you know, and now I'm the one doing the exterior. And normally, like looking at this, honestly, I kind of miss this. I should have put those little fake dormers back. I ended up doing something with like the roof, and like honestly, it was doing too much, and I cut a lot of it out because it was just like doing too much, you know? Like instead of having the fake dormer, I experimented with having like this real dormer, and then I ended up getting rid of that because it was too tall and it was making the build like look weird, and I made the roof like a different shape, and I was just, oh my god, it was so hard. I had that pergola thing. That's not a pergola, is it? I don't know. A trellis. I had that trellis from the wedding pack on the porch, and it just wasn't, I don't know, it was too big, and it like was obscuring the view from the living room because the door is like the window out into the ocean from the living room, so I didn't want to obscure it too much. Because that's like the view, you know, they live on an island, so it was so much. The outside of this took so long and was so frustrating, and I am happy with how it turned out, but looking back on it, I did like having the fake dormers in the front. I kept the fake dormers in the back. I think that looks really cute, looking out over the, where the sunroom is. Also, they have a sunroom where Chatter does his gardening, and it's very, very cute, and I'm a big fan. Though I will say getting the glass roof to look normal was also a struggle, which is weird. Once again, normally glass roofs, I'm used to them at this point, and I don't struggle with them. But this build, something about it was just, it was difficult. Much like Marshall himself, very difficult. My idea for this was that they're both smug boys, because as you know, they are both smug boys. And, you know, they have enough in common that, you know, they could be roommates and friends. But I don't know, maybe they're not, like, that close. Maybe they're, like, medium close. They're definitely pals. They're definitely pals. And I'm sure, I'm sure that Chatter has spent many a nights listening to Marshall's relationship woes and drama sitting out by the ocean, which, you know, very sweet friendship stuff. I feel like Marshall does probably struggle a little bit with, like, the cottagecore lifestyle. You know, living out on this island, you know, living off the land. Like Chatter is a pretty classy guy, but I feel like he's also not afraid to get his hands dirty. Like, he loves cooking. Obviously, he is made of cheese. He loves I was on, I don't know if it was like a YouTube comment or if it was on stream, but someone was like, I swear to God, if Chatter doesn't have his green nose. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Chatter has a very specific look to him that I will explain at the end of the video when we get to the cast portion where I show you their outfits and everything. But you'll get it when you see it. This is also something that I got rid of, all of this greenery. I left some of it, but it was just too much. Like, I was just doing too much. What was wrong with me? Like, what was in my brain when I was doing this? Clearly not time management, because this took me 5 hours. So, like, what am I doing? But yes, Chatter, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. You know, he has chickens. He grows a lot of his own ingredients for his food. Meanwhile, Marshall, he is training to be an actor. He does like to cook, and he likes to cross stitch. So, you know, he has a bit of that cottagecore girly lifestyle. I gave him like the vlogging setup, so maybe he's like a lifestyle vlogger, and he's talking about, you know, his acting journey or whatever. But yeah, I don't know how much he's built for like roughing it like this. Like, I think that he likes the aesthetic of it, but he's not really built for like the lifestyle in the way that Chatter is. And I also think that Chatter decorated most of the house. Like, maybe, okay, there's some blue couches in the living room, definitely a Marshall. A lot of the art, probably Marshall, but there's like a lot of books around, and a lot of there's lots of like actual like old like furniture, and I think a lot of that is more Chatter sensibilities, like more of like an old, he has a lot of books too. You know, Marshall's a bit more of a modern type of guy, but you know, he can appreciate Chatter's interior decorating sensibilities enough to tolerate them. See, what was I doing with these two fireplace, what are they called? Chimneys. These two chimneys, and they're not even lined up. It's like, what am I thinking? You know, this I like don't even know what to say about like what I'm doing with this build, because everything about it is like a mess. Like, look at the mess of me trying to fix this. And then like I tried to like fix the roof so it wasn't clipping into the sunroom, and it just wasn't. I was trying another chimney. What was I doing? This is like me from like a week ago. I had to take a break from this build because it was just like too much for my small little brain to figure out. But I did enjoy having the wisteria. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot, and I kept that. That does stay. You know, we're like 8 minutes into this almost hour-long video. I might as well just ask you how you're doing. How's your day going? How's your weekend? Mine's okay. I got mysteriously ill yesterday, and that's why this video is going up on a Sunday instead of a Saturday, because I couldn't record this voiceover because I couldn't talk. But now I feel better, so here I am, being a fool and recording an hour-long voiceover. Look at me. We're all fools. You're here with me. I'm here with you. We're all together, fools. Isn't that beautiful? But yeah, how's your weekend going? Let me know down in the comments. I want to see. I actually haven't been answering comments recently just because I've been so exhausted. I keep getting sick for like one day and then getting better, and it's dumb. Like, can I just come on, please, just pick one. Like, pick one. Like, am I gonna be sick or am I gonna feel normal? Like, just decide. Just pick one or the other. I'll deal with either one, but the back and forth is very annoying. But yeah, besides that, I'm having an okay weekend. I forgot in my last video I mentioned how they're taking Pokemon Sun and Moon off of Netflix at the end of the month, and I'm very upset. So I've been watching a lot of that, and that's been making me feel better. And I also forgot to mention that they're taking The Power of Us off of Netflix as well, which is even more upsetting. That's a movie, it's a Pokemon movie. It's not like I actually, you know what? I will say, if there is any Pokemon movie that is a real movie and not like a fake movie, you know what I mean, like a real movie, it's that one. That one's a film. I would put that on in front of another person on purpose. Unlike most Pokemon movies. But yeah, Power of Us, go watch it. It's very cute, very adorable animation, especially, and has my son. So go check it out for my son. But yeah, the build, this is the part where I was indecisive about. the paint color because I wanted it to be blue once again for Marshall, because blue is his color, but I couldn't decide which paneling to choose because there aren't enough choices in the game, which is absurd because blue is probably the most abundant color in The Sims 4, and yet I still could not decide on a blue exterior. Eventually, I think I went with the one from Spa Day, like the panels from Spa Day. Yeah, I did go with those, but yeah, I still am not 100% happy with them because of course I'm not. Actually, you know what, now that I'm looking at it, this house is cute. Like I was just being mean to myself earlier. This house is cute. I was being overly critical of myself. I did an okay job with this. The interior, I think, is really cute, especially their bedrooms. Their bedrooms came out great. I think they really like fit their personalities, but still fit like the style of the house. But yeah, we're just adjusting the outside. Ooh, and I used those beautiful purple flowers from Island Living. I absolutely love those, and I'm so glad I got to have like the pops of purple to go with the blue. I thought that was really, really pretty. Now we're finally working on the inside, which I feel like I have a lot more to say about because even though the inside, once again, my addiction to detail was holding me back and I could not stop adding details and adjusting details, the inside was way more fun to decorate and it came to me a lot easier. The living room was definitely the most challenging part just because it's such a weird shape. Like I wanted them both to have really big bedrooms so they could like have their hobbies and stuff, though I guess it is kind of unfair that Marshall's room is smaller when Chatter also has a greenhouse all to himself. But at the same time, I feel like, no offense, I don't know if Marshall is the one paying the bigger rent in this scenario. You know what I mean? I haven't decided. I haven't given either of them. Actually, no, I gave Marshall a job. He's an actor. Chatter is unemployed, but the only reason I did that is because he is going to become my husband and I don't want to cheat by giving him like a nice job and then he moves into my household later on and I get to inherit all of his wealth. You know, I want it to be fair. Maybe he sells like his eggs and his veggies or whatever. Maybe that's what he does. The kitchen was a struggle and a half because I had an idea of like the shape I wanted, but also it was like incredibly small and I'm like, they deserve like a bigger kitchen, but they ended up not getting one. So sucks for them, but they'll live. It's fine. And they have all the cute little appliances and everything. I also really wanted to use this couch from Paranormal Stuff because I thought that the colors were perfect, especially for Marshall. Like, Marshall would totally pick out a couch just like that and put all, like, the little throws and the cushions, like, very stylish, very trendy. But the colors just, like, weren't working for me. Like, I didn't want to have, like, a blue and yellow living room, you know? So I ended up actually using the couch from University, which I haven't used in a long time, but it's really beautiful and it has some really beautiful colors. The dining area was also really, really fun. Once I got the hang of it, I kind of wanted to use the round table, but it was just too big and it just didn't fit. So I ended up using the table from the movie stuff pack, movie hangout, and then I used the chairs from Paranormal Stuff because they match sort of color-wise. And then I decorated it with a bunch of like pops of color like on the wall, and it was, you know, she's cute. She's cutesy. I really enjoyed it. I really do like how the inside of this house came out. I wish that there was a backsplash that was like a different level. I ended up going with this one because I liked the blue and I liked the sort of Art Deco design. I thought it was really pretty and it matches the wallpaper. It's the same like beige color as the rest of the wallpaper. But yeah, no, I just wish that the backsplash was like more. Like I just want like more tile. Like you can't see the tile because it's covered up by the counters. But like you need counters because it's a kitchen, duh. But yeah, I don't know. I also think I ended up using the white fridge, and I did not use the sink that comes with Cottage Living because it was like a really bright color, and it was doing too much. I'm doing too much. The Sims 4 is doing too much. What's new, you know? That area to the right of the kitchen was also a huge pain to decorate because like what do I put there? I ended up putting like a table with some flowers on it and like where you put your mail. You know, very, very grandma chic. It's giving grandma. But, you know, I feel like Chatter, he's a bit of an old soul. He's a refined cheese. So it suits him more. And then Marshall is a bit, you know, he's a bit younger. He's a bit trendier. Even though they're the same type of villager. You wouldn't have this nuance in New Horizons, of course. This is all from my immaculate brain. But yeah, here's the living room coming together. I put that bookshelf from the base game that's like an unlockable. I use that twice in this house actually, just because it's like it's like covered in books and they're like falling off, like it's stuffed with books, and I'm like, that's so perfect for an intellectual like Chatter. Of course he has a ton of books. And that's the dining table we ended up going with. Loved the aged effect on the wood. Very, very nice. You know what else made this difficult to record that I just remembered? Oh yeah, and of course you have to have a big TV. That's for Marshall, so he can watch his little award shows and see if he won any awards, his little acting awards. My sim actually won an award recently or was nominated for an award. I don't know if I won or not because I didn't have a TV until very recently, I don't think. But yes, okay. What made this build so difficult was I messed up my hip somehow. I have no clue. I was literally just like walking home from getting some food, and I didn't like walk abnormally. This blue wallpaper was doing too much. I'm sorry, she had to go, but she's cute. I tried using her in Marshall's room too. It did not stay. Anyways, sorry I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked talking about the build. Wow, look at me. But yes, I messed up my hip the other day. I have no clue if I like stepped wrong or what, but I like couldn't walk correctly for like a good 2 or 3 days, and sitting at my desk was also very painful. This was my sign that I need to get a new chair. I've talked about this before, and because of your kindness and also just like general like YouTube success, I guess. This feels like success to me. I couldn't have imagined having 10,000 subscribers at any point ever. So yeah, this is success for me. But because of that, I'm able to afford a chair. I just have to pick one out. But like, how do you pick a chair? Like, I'm not going to pick one of those gamer chairs. I know they're uncomfortable. I just need to know like what the good chairs are. So if you have an office chair recommendation, let me know in the comments. Hopefully I don't mess up my hip again. But yeah, that was an obstacle to recording this, and then I got sick, and then that was another obstacle. But now here we are, a little over 15 minutes into almost an hour-long speed build. Look at that! Look at us! Look at us! I hope that you grabbed something to drink when I said to, like 8 minutes ago. Otherwise, I'm going to be upset that you didn't get something to drink. I have some water with me here. I had some tea earlier. I almost forgot about it and it almost got cold, and I was very upset with myself. But it was just quick enough that it wasn't. This painting of this lighthouse is so gorgeous, and I ended up not using it, but like I should have. Like, I should have used it somewhere else in the house because it didn't fit in this area. But like, it's so beautiful. Like, isn't she stunning? Like, the colors. Like, I never use those paintings from Cats and Dogs because the ones that are like the default ones in the catalog I think are kind of ugly, so I just don't use them. Do you have anything like that in The Sims where like the default catalog version of it is so ugly that you just like don't use it? I feel like that happens a lot with art because like I just assume that they're all the same. Like with furniture, I know that it comes in different colors, so I always check, but like sometimes I just don't look at the colors or something. It happens a lot with rugs too, because like a rug is just a shape, and then you like look at the different versions and you're like, oh, never mind, this is completely different than that other rug. Speaking of rugs, I was struggling. I really didn't want to use that rug that I used in the other build in the living room again. I ended up using it in not Marshall, in Chatter's bedroom, because it just fit the colors and the vibe. But that worn rug from the Get Famous pack, I use that all the time because it's so gorgeous. She's a gorgeous rug, and I like how you can have like a worn version or like a new version. But I ended up using that in Chatter's bedroom. Chatter's bedroom is, if you're one of those people who loves like a room that's just full of plants, you're gonna love Chatter's bedroom. Chatter's bedroom is gorgeous and stunning. Here's the little old lady area that I mentioned, the grandma area, like where you have like a flower on the table and like you put your mail there, and there's like a little rug. I struggled to pick a rug for this area as well. I hate that base game rug so much. There's not enough good normal round rugs in this game, and there's not enough good round tables either. Especially, there's no like modern round dining table, whether the big size or the small size. The one that we have that comes the closest is that bar stool size table that came with Tiny Living, but it's a bar table. It's not a normal table. I just want a normal, modern, round table. Is that too much to ask? Oh my god, being a builder, it's a whole different experience with this game, because obviously build mode in this game is like so much better than in the previous games, but at the same time there's some things where it's like, I am so frustrated by this, why did you choose this? And a lot of it has to do with color swatches and designs of like why does this item look like this? Whose choice, you know? But you know, you work with what you got, or you use CC, either one. I ended up caving in the Creative Sim department when it comes to CC. Like, I just can't. That is why the Sims from this LP are not up on the gallery, because they all use a ton of CC. I could try making like CC-free versions, or versions that just have the skin and the Kijiko lashes and nothing else. but then like they have a lot of like custom makeup and jewelry and glasses and all the things. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. I know I know that the part of the coolness of the Let's Play is like that the Sims are sort of like my villagers, but I am dumb and I forget where most of my CC comes from, and it's all very old. So I'm trying, besties. Here we are with that area that I mentioned. It's so cute, like with the colors. Like I love that painting, the swatches that they added to that. I love that so much. And I also got to use one of those cute little like corner wall shelves that they love to add in. I used the one from Cats and Dogs. I think it's very, very adorable, and it fit really, I mean, it fit perfectly because it was in a corner. I never used those because I am more of a modern builder. That's probably why I struggled so much with this house, but I do like clutter and, you know, the more like cottagecore, like grandma core type stuff. It's not like totally foreign to me. Like I can figure it out. It is a struggle sometimes, definitely, especially because like you get used to the items in build mode, and there's ones that you like gravitate towards, and if you're building in a completely different style, it's like rediscovering the catalog all over again, and you have to like go through like thousands of items to find like an item that you've never used in your life and don't know like if it'll even work or like what it looks like in game. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I've been building in this game since I was like 6 years old. Not this game, and The Sims in general, since I was like 6. And I've gotten pretty good at it over time, I think, at least. But, you know, it never gets easy, I will say. It's always a little bit difficult. Especially, like, a build with this much detail. Like, when I was doing my, my starter house build, link in bio. By the way, we we earned enough money to buy that house in my last stream. It was very exciting. But, you know, that build, it was challenging in its own way because I had a budget, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I only have a few decorations and I just have to know where to put them. Whereas this, it's like all decorations. So I have to really, you know, I have to know where to put this one, and like I'll save this decoration for this room or that room. I don't know. Does that make any sense? I'm just saying words. At this point, it's just a podcast, besties. Like, this is me deep in my podcast era. I hope you're enjoying this, whatever you're doing right now. If you're cleaning, if you're eating a delicious meal, I wish I could eat a delicious meal right now, but it's 5 in the morning. You know what? Maybe I'll treat myself to a McDonald's breakfast. Maybe that's the move. Later though, not now, not at 5 a.m. Also, it's like 27 degrees outside. My roommate like just texted me, so maybe McDonald's breakfast isn't the move. Actually, maybe I'll just stay put and not engage with that. I'm not engaging with 27 degrees. What do I look like? Oh my god, this corner is so cute. It's more books. I just put more books. I put like a little lamp. I didn't know, like, this space is so awkward, but this like side table thing, like this sideboard, it fit perfectly. So it was like a no-brainer. I also used this painting from City Living, I think, that I never use. This blue door one, I never in my life. I use the one with the fish a lot, like the red fish, but I never use this door, and I used it in this because it's blue and it's for Marshall. I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I just don't like how it looks. But in this case, I don't know. It was just speaking to me. I used that tray. Is that from Tiny Living? That tray with the candles. I used it everywhere in this build. I think I used it in the bathroom. I used it maybe in Marshall's bedroom. I used it outside. Like, I use that everywhere. I just feel like that's a thing that Marshall would pick out. Like, look at this artful little tray with my little candles. And he's never read any of those books. Like, the books work because obviously Chatter likes to read, but Marshall has never read a book, I don't think. Has he mentioned it like in dialogue, in villager dialogue? Because if he has, I don't believe him personally. The kitchen was actually like really easy to decorate in this build, sort of similar to the last one because it was so small and I didn't feel the need to add a lot of decorations. A lot of times the kitchen is really daunting for me because I know in my heart of hearts, like, oh, I'm gonna spend like an hour decorating this. But this one was so easy. I popped in the tea kettle and the little tea, and I popped in some little extra decorations around the sink and around the stove. And that was it. Like, it came pretty naturally. And I love these pendant lights that came with Cottage Living. They're so cute. I feel like it's something Marshall would pick out. Like, he saw it on HGTV and he just had to have it. And he lives in like this rustic little cottage by the ocean, so it's perfect. Oh, here I am attempting to place the tea set from the wedding pack, but none of them were like fitting the vibe. So I ended up going with the lemonade set from the backyard stuff pack, which I've heard are just the same object repurposed. So I mean, it's the same thing. It's lemonade, like whatever. But yeah, this is sort of almost the end of the living room. I come back later and add a cross-stitching kit for Marshall because I decided halfway through this that Marshall should cross-stitch. I think that that's him getting in his cottagecore moment, you know? Maybe it's like a jealousy thing between him and Coco because like Coco's an artist. For those of you who don't know, check out my speed build of Coco's house or whatever. It's link in the thingy. I've been on my plug game recently. I have been plugging a lot, so you know, good on me, I guess, for that. Oh my god, this is when we work on the, what's it called? The sunroom. I forgot what this is called. Or like it's a room with windows. It's a greenhouse. Wow, besties. You know what? I'm really, this is intelligence right here. Anyways, this is Chatter's greenhouse. He has a flower arranging table in here so he can do flower arranging. It also put this like fake flower stand that comes with the plant kit. I wish that this was functional. I feel like they have a bunch of objects in the game that look like the flower arranging table but are prettier. Like there's that object from, what's it called? My favorite pack, Eco Lifestyle. That's also really beautiful. That looks really similar to the flower arranging table, and it like looks better, like objectively. But it's not like a usable object. It's just decoration. So here it is, being decoration. But I'm glad that I fit it into this greenhouse area. Oh, and I also, of course, I put the what's it called, the apron that they added in the base game. That is so cute and like such a needed item. Like, why didn't we have aprons? There's not enough. There's so many like wall items. Like the fact that the broom comes with the laundry day pack. It's like we should have a broom in base game. What's wrong? I don't know. Oh yeah, and I added these to the stove, which I thought was very cute. Ooh, and then we're gonna adjust the outside a little bit and add, I think, the tile that I used in the sunroom to the outside. You know what? We are over halfway through this speed build. So first of all, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. Second of all, if you haven't gotten something to drink, I want you to go get that right now. I need something to drink, to be honest. And third, I'm gonna put an ad break right here. Welcome back, besties. Did you miss me? I missed me, and you. I hope you got yourself something to drink. I didn't because I just started recording again, but I will when I'm done. I promise. I swear. I pinky promise. I was adjusting the entrance to the bathroom because I was like, oh, I could fit more stuff in it if I move the door. That is not true. This was the best layout for the bathroom. I should have just stuck with my gut. I ended up moving the window slightly so I could have room for a mirror above the sink. It's a weird shape for a bathroom, especially for a house for two roommates. But to be honest, it's not any weirder than Coco and Genji's bathroom situation. So it's whatever. And I think it's cute. And I like how I got to use the blue counters in the bathroom as opposed to the living room where I used the beige counters. But yeah, very simple. I put a plant above the bathtub, very luxurious. I feel like this is also a room that Marshall designed, like the blue accents and like the farmhouse aesthetics. Like this is very much like giving home and garden catalog type vibes, you know? So yeah, this is definitely Marshall's hand, as well as, or I guess paw, because he's a squirrel. Of course, we have the tray with the candles, obviously, and I put, I think, a fur rug, the one from Snowy Escape. Yes, I did. But yeah, that's the bathroom, one and done. And I do put wallpaper in there. I put the brick that I have in the sunroom. It's not a sunroom, it's a greenhouse. What is wrong with me? Okay, now we get to work on Marshall's bedroom. Did I already apologize for the amount of spinning that's been going on in this video? I'm sorry, by the way, about that. I am not used to recording myself building in this game, and I did not realize how much I spin the camera until I started recording myself. So I actually ended up cutting a lot of Marshall's room just because I could not for the life of me figure out like how to get a cottagecore vibe that fits Marshall's vibe, if that makes sense. Once again, I experimented with the Gingham wallpaper. That didn't work. I ended up going for like, what if Marshall like doesn't care at all about the aesthetic of this house and he just has like his own thing going on in his room. I tried that. It didn't work. Once I figured out the walk-in wardrobe though, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I understand what this room is supposed to be. Like Marshall definitely embraces the cottagecore aesthetic, but he still has to have his luxury amenities, you know? He's not actually trying to rough it out in the world. But yes, I ended up going with this blue base game bed with these dainty flowers. I feel like it fits him perfectly. I never use this bed, but here we are. I'm doing stuff out of my comfort zone. And I forgot, I had that makeup table from the pack where they had that, the Vintage Glamour. I had that for a while, and I thought it was funny that he had so many mirrors in his room, but I realized I should probably give him the media setup, so that's what I gave him instead. And I also switched to this blue version of the wallpaper that's in the living room, because of course it's Marshall, it has to be blue. And then I decorated the back side, the wall behind his bed, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I created like a gallery wall similar to the one in the dining room, but a little more muted to sort of match Marshall's aesthetics. Like it's all blue and then like grays and whites and sort of that sort of thing. And I used that gallery wall that came with the Paranormal Stuff pack. And I really wanted to use these paintings from whatever the heck that those paintings are from. I don't even remember. But they just didn't fit. They were slightly too modern. And I was like, no, Marshall would embrace the cottagecore style more. And even though it was hard, I'm glad that I did do that in the end, because it's so different from Coco and Genji's place aesthetically. And I had a lot of fun like with the contrast of that, even if I used like repeat items from that build in this build. Does that make sense? Oh, speaking of repeat items, here's the tray with the candles again. Once again, Marshall's influence on the build. I also thought he should have some plants. I feel like, once again, he has plants for the aesthetic. I don't know how good he is at taking care of them, but he has Chatter, his roommate, to help him because, you know, I don't know if Marshall's that much of a green thumb, but Chatter definitely is, so he has that going for him. I also tried a repeat of this, like, shelf idea that I had in the dining room, but once again, I was like, you know what, I have to try something new, and I'm glad that I did, because his gallery wall is super duper cute. I have it in the screenshots. The screenshots came out super, super cute for this build, except for the fact that I forgot that in my game right now, it is fall, so the exterior is kind of weird, plus it was, like, a weird time of day. I don't know. I don't have MC Command Center installed right now, so I used the weather machine to cheat the weather, and that's the best that I could do, besties. I trust me. I also put, I edited the footage slightly to up the saturation, because I also don't have Reshade in my game, because Reshade does not work on Mac. So if any of you know tips of how to get Reshade to work on Mac, or if you know of an alternative to it that works, please let me know. I'd really like to know, because this game is beautiful sometimes and very ugly other times, and I would prefer if it was beautiful all the time. Especially now that I'm filming my gameplay and showing it to you guys. But yeah, okay. What's interesting about this area, this like the left side of the top left of his wardrobe kept getting put into the household inventory, and I have no idea why. I had to fix it like 3 or 4 times when I was taking screenshots. Like, it kept disappearing and going in the inventory, and I was so confused. I have no clue why I was doing that. I turned on and off move objects. It shouldn't be a move objects thing though, because like those objects all fit where they are. Like, they're all slotted to slots, but I don't know. It just wasn't working. Oh, I think this is a really cute detail. I used that shaggy rug from, I don't know what, it's from a kit. It's from the industrial whatever kit, but I used it because I thought it reminded me of Marshall's fur. And we're gonna see in Create a Sim, I also picked his outfits based on his fluffy white fur. So you're gonna see a lot of that when we get to that portion of the video at the end. But yeah, I throw in a couple more plants. I swapped those 2 boys around, and now we're going into my husband's bedroom. This bedroom is very lush and green. I originally wanted to do like a rich sort of red color to match his clothing choices a little bit more, but I ended up going with the green, and I'm really happy that I did. It looks so good, and it matches his like gardener aesthetic really well to have a bedroom full of plants. You know what? Even though this build took me 5 hours to do and was so much of a struggle, especially at the beginning, I'm glad that I did it, because it was really fun to do the interior, and it was a good break from Animal Crossing, because even though it's been more fun to decorate in Animal Crossing now that it's springtime. It's also really overwhelming now that I can like do anything I want on my island, and it's like, oh, I have to finish my island. I feel like a little bit of self-pressure of like, I need to work on my island, and I have to have, when I do an area, it has to be done, and I can't like adjust it in major ways unless I make a video about it. That's my own fault. That's my own pressure that I'm putting on myself. But it definitely makes it hard to be creative in that game, and I'm glad that I did this partially because it allows me to like move on even more with the Let's Play, which has been really fun to do on stream with you guys. I really enjoy playing The Sims with you guys and like incorporating Animal Crossing and The Sims together in this way. I think it's really fun. But also just like getting my creativity going in general. Like the other day on stream, we played Happy Home Paradise for the first time in forever on my channel, which I missed a lot. We built, who was it? It was Biff. We built Biff an alien like observatory lab type of place. Like he's like a conspiracy theorist and he has like a lab in his attic and all this other cool stuff, and it was so much fun to build on stream with you guys again. But also like just building in that way in general, where like the possibilities are endless and I can just do whatever I want in my imagination, like that I really miss. So I definitely think it was a good exercise for me to play more of The Sims, play more Happy Home Paradise, and not pressure myself to finish my island all in one go. Even though I have a ton of ideas for it, that doesn't mean that I have to execute them all at once. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stop working on Nautilus anytime soon. Don't get it twisted, besties. I have tons of ideas, like I said, for my island, and just I need to pace myself. Otherwise, I'm gonna spread my creativity a little too thin, if that makes sense. And this was, once again, this was a good creative exercise away from working on Nautilus. I think the lake especially was like really overwhelming for me. And I'm glad that I cut it up into chunks. I still have to finish that, but I think I'm going to work on a different area of my island first to give myself a break. But we'll see. You'll find out when I post my next video of Nautilus. I feel like I honestly want to turn that build that I did on stream the other day, the Biff's house, into a speed build, just because I love it so much. Like, I love how that turned out. I think it was so fun. And like I said, I miss doing Happy Home Paradise. I just went on a whole rant about like my creative process while I built this room. But isn't this like so darling? Like, it's so like don't you want to just like live in this space? Like the plants and like the rich brown furniture, and it's all like old and everything's covered in books. Like, you would definitely see this bedroom on somebody's Tumblr in like 2017. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's that rug that I was talking about, but it just fits the room so perfectly, you know? I couldn't help it. I don't know why there is so much noise at 5 a.m. I know that I said in my last video that I wasn't going to record at odd hours again, but this is a special instance where I am doing that. But it's okay because I was sleeping all day anyway because I had gotten sick. So, you know, my sleep schedule was going to be messed up no matter what. And I thought, you know, I might as well while I'm awake. Here's Marshall's cross-stitching little area, and we're about to cut to the outside. The outside was really fun. I gave Chatter a chicken coop, which I'm sure Marshall just adores, obviously. And I fenced off the backyard, and I left this area sort of more open, and I put like some chairs out so that Marshall can lounge as he is wont to do. And I put some patches for them to plant veggies and everything. Super duper adorable. Very obsessed. This is very much cottagecore fantasy. I should have added some fairy lights. I did add a lot of lupin flowers. Or I guess they're not lupin flowers. They're like lavender or something. I don't know. But I added like purple flowers everywhere to make it sort of seem overgrown. But still like in an aesthetic way. Because as we know, Marshall's in this entire lifestyle for the aesthetic, so it's got to be cute. But I just wanted the outside to be like a really like chill space to just come hang out and be by the ocean, because they live in such a beautiful area. Here's me struggling with the terrain paint. Why on earth is there no terrain paint that matches this terrain? Like, why does the Sims team... Why? Like, why? Why? I think about this a lot, you know? As a builder, these are the things that haunt me, truly. I ended up going with these rocks, and then I softened it a little bit with some sand. But, you know, that's the closest I could get, so that's what we have. And I use a lot of dirt, obviously, because it's a chicken coop area, so it's gonna be dirt, besties. That's how chickens are. And I added some little rocks in the front, just leading up from the dock where they come to their house. Super cute. This looks so pretty with like the nice like summertime midday sun. and then I cut to live mode and we're in fall and I'm taking screenshots and there's leaves on the ground everywhere. It's like, you know, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. And I use these other bushes from Island Living. I love the landscaping from Island Living is so gorgeous. Island Living is one of my favorite packs just for the build items and also for the world. Like, I understand totally that the gameplay in that pack is very lacking, but in terms of like building and like a new world to live in, Sulani, oh my god, I love Sulani. Honestly, like besides Wittenberg, Sulani's probably my favorite world of The Sims 4. Actually, yeah, they're both tied for first. I play in them the most often. That and then I guess Brindleton Bay would be third. You know what, besties? If you play The Sims 4, what's your favorite pack and what's your favorite world? I'm very curious. I have to say Get Together is probably my favorite pack. It's for me because I build, it's really just like what items come with the pack, what world comes with the pack, like what are the lots like. I do obviously enjoy gameplay, and that's, I think Get Together has like a mixture of all three of those things. Like the gameplay is really good, and then like the items and the world that it comes with are also really good. So that's why like there's items in Get Together that I use in every single build. Especially those, like for the longest time it was the only pack that had like normal pillars, like normal like straight up and down square pillars, and I used them all the time. I didn't use them in this build though. I did use Get Together pillars though. Those are from this pack. Here are the little bits of lavender. I think those are from the camping pack. Oh, that it makes me so nostalgic. That was the first pack that ever came out for The Sims 4, and it sure feels like it when you play it. Yeah, oh my god, we're coming to the end of the build. Look at this. We're almost there. I'm just adding little decorations. After that, we're gonna cut to me in Create a Sim with the boys, and I'm gonna show you what the boys look like and explain my inspiration for them. And yeah, we'll get a little glimpse into their lives as it pertains to the Let's Play and like how they interact with the other characters in the world. And then we'll do another one of these videos where I show you, I think the next household I'm going to work on is Fuchsia and another character who you will find out about when I post the video. But I'm very, very excited for that. I already made Fuchsia and she is so cool. Like, I love her. I think that she and Coco are such a cute couple. But yeah, we're almost at the end. I think I'm just going to do terrain painting. I added like a picnic basket. I don't know if it works. Obviously, okay, you have to move it to a table, but I think it does work like from being outside. I don't know. But yeah, we're making some little adjustments here at the end, and then it'll be the end. And that's very exciting for us. We did it. We made it, besties. I hope that you are hydrated and that you drank that drink that you got halfway through the video when I did the ad break. It's really important to me that you stay hydrated. I think after this voiceover is over, I'm gonna go make some more tea for myself, and I'm gonna cuddle up in bed and watch some more Sun and Moon to close out my night and have, I guess it's morning now, but you know what I mean. I promise I will stop recording voiceovers at weird hours. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of gameplay, I think I'll stream more of this week now that I finished their house. I wanna be able to play with the neighborhood full, so I'm trying to work on the neighborhood as quickly as possible. But here we are going into Create a Sim, yay! First of all, as you can see, this is my gorgeous husband, Chatter Stilton. Not only is his name a cheese pun, but it is also a reference to friends of the channel, Wallace and Gromit. Speaking of references, if this man looks familiar to you, it's because he's based off of Hugo from Dream Daddy. So that's where you've seen him before. He's literally just Hugo from Dream Daddy. He wants to be a master chef. Those are his likes and dislikes. I think after this I added gardening because he didn't have that for some reason. He's a bookworm, he's a foodie, and he's romantic, of course. These are his outfits. As I mentioned previously, he is based off of Hugo, and that pretty much informed his wardrobe choices. They're very warm, they're giving, like, I guess a dark academia vibe. They're mostly just giving an academia vibe. His formal wear, I think, is kind of funny. I just really like this little scarf. Here's his active wear. He looks like he's going on a hike, very dad-like of him. Here's his sleepwear. I actually noticed during this recording that he and Marshall have the same sleepwear. Here is his party wear, which I especially love. Here is his swimwear, pretty typical dad stuff. He's not a dad, but, you know, he has dad vibes. Speaking of dad vibes, this hot weather wear is major dad vibes. And here is his Hannibal Lecter jacket to finish it off. So that is Chatter, my future husband. And here we are, the next member of the household, Marshall Bennett. I feel like this sim really captures the energy of Marshall. He wants to be a world-famous celebrity. He is gregarious. Those are his likes and dislikes. He hates fishing, by the way, very important detail. He's also self-absorbed, high maintenance, and jealous, which are all great traits. I added in cross-stitching as well, as you can see, because once again, I forgot. Here is his everyday outfit. It has that cream color that his fur has with the little pops of blue. Here's this other sweater that I found for him that I just had, some CC sweater that I think suits him. Here is his formal wear, very fancy. Here is his athletic wear. This is a CC outfit that's like a two-piece set that I have never used and I was so excited to use for him. Here's his pajamas. As I said, he and Chatter match. Here is his party outfit, which I especially love, with the jeans with the stripe down the side. Here's his swimwear, which is actually auto-generated by the game, and I was like, oh, that's perfect for him. Here is his hot weather outfit, which I really, really love. I think this is absolutely Marshall's vibe. And here is his cold weather outfit. So those are the boys. I hope you enjoyed them. If you'd like to see more of them, especially Marshall, who, like I said, loves to loiter, make sure to tune in to the live streams. I'll probably do another one the week that this video goes up because I've been having a lot of fun playing this game with you guys. Here are the screenshots of the build. I hope you enjoyed. I post twice a week. I try to post Wednesday and Saturday, and I stream once a week here on YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified every time that I post, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye!